I have a photograph of my husband in this locket. I wear it every day. I sleep with it. I shower with it. I hold it when I can't sleep at 3 a.m, and the house is so quiet I can hear my own heartbeat and nothing else. Robert has been dead for 4 years, and I need to tell you something about those 4 years. I have not opened this locket once. Not once in 4 years have I looked at his face in this photograph. Because looking at his face means facing what I did, what I didn't do. The 58 years of silence that I gave to a man who deserved a symphony. I'm 92 years old, and I loved my husband in silence. I loved him so deeply that it lived in my bones, in my blood, in every breath I took for 58 years. I loved him the way the moon loves the earth, constantly, invisibly, without ever saying a word about it. And he died not knowing. That sentence is the reason I can't sleep. That sentence is the reason I hold this locket at 3 a.m. That sentence is the reason I'm talking to a camera right now, instead of keeping this shame locked inside where it's been rotting for 4 years. He died not knowing how much I loved him. Let me tell you about Robert, so you understand what I wasted, what I threw away with my silence. Robert was the kind of man who remembered everything. Not birthdays and anniversaries, those are easy. Robert remembered that I mentioned once in 1973 that I liked the smell of lilacs. Once. One sentence in a conversation I don't even remember having. And for the next 45 years, until the day he died, there were lilacs in this house every spring, every single spring. He'd drive 20 miles to a farm that grew them because the grocery store ones weren't as fragrant. 20 miles for a sentence I said once in 1973. That's who Robert was. Robert noticed when I was cold before I knew I was cold. He'd get up and get a blanket and put it on my shoulders, and I wouldn't even realize I'd been shivering. He noticed when I was sad before I felt the sadness reach my face. He'd sit next to me and put his hand on mine and say nothing, just his hand on mine. And somehow the sadness would feel smaller, not gone, smaller, held by someone else for a moment so I could breathe. He made me coffee every morning for 58 years, every single morning. I never asked him to. He just did it. And he remembered how I liked it. Not how I liked it in 1964 when we got married, how I liked it now, because it changed over the years. Less sugar after the diabetes scare. More cream after I started getting heartburn from black coffee. He noticed. He adjusted. He never asked. He just paid attention. 58 years of a man paying attention to me. And what did I give him back? Silence. Not angry silence. Not cold silence. Comfortable silence. That's what I told myself. We were comfortable. We didn't need to say I love you every day like teenagers. We'd been married for decades. The love was implied. The love was obvious. The love didn't need to be spoken because it was everywhere. In the lilacs, in the coffee, in the blanket on my shoulders before I knew I was cold. But here's what I didn't understand until he was gone. Love that is only implied is love that can be doubted. Love that is never spoken is love that the other person has to guess at. And Robert spent 58 years guessing. I found a journal after he died in his nightstand. I didn't know he kept a journal. He never told me. Maybe he knew I'd asked to read it and he didn't want me to see what was inside. I read it all. Every page. Took me 3 days because I had to keep stopping. Had to keep putting it down and walking around the house and holding on to furniture and trying to breathe. The journal was about me, all of it, every entry, his observations about me, his worries about me, his love for me, written in his careful handwriting on page after page after page. And on nearly every page, the same question. Does she know how much I love her? Does she love me back? I wonder sometimes if Clara loves me, or if she just got used to me. I wish she'd say it. Just once. Just once I'd like to hear her say she loves me. Just once. That phrase, just once. It appeared 43 times in that journal. I counted. 43 times my husband wrote that he wished his wife would say, I love you, just once. And I never did. I thought he knew. He didn't know. He spent 58 years wondering. 58 years of bringing me lilacs and making my coffee and putting blankets on my shoulders and wondering if his wife loved him or just tolerated him. 58 years of a man giving everything and receiving silence, and writing in a journal at night, please, just say it once. I thought I was loving him by staying, by being there, by not complaining, by accepting his love gracefully and quietly. I thought receiving love was the same as giving it. I thought presence was enough. Presence is not enough. Presence without words is just a body in a room. I was a body in a room for 58 years. A body that loved him so much I couldn't breathe sometimes. A body that watched him sleep and felt my chest fill with warmth. A body that wanted to reach out and touch his face and say, "Robert, you are everything to me." But I never did, because I was raised by people who didn't say it. My mother never told me she loved me, not once. I knew she did, but she never said it. My father shook hands instead of hugging. Love, in my house growing up, was a silent assumption, something you didn't talk about, because talking about feelings was weakness, and I brought that silence into my marriage. I infected my marriage with the silence of my childhood. I gave Robert a wife who was mute in the language he needed most. The night before he died, we sat at the dinner table. Pot roast, his favorite. I made it because I wanted to do something nice for him. He'd been tired lately, moving slower. I thought making his favorite meal would show him I cared. Show him, not tell him, because I didn't know how to tell him. I'd never learned. He looked at me across the table. His eyes were softer than usual. Something in them. Looking back now, I think he knew. I think his body knew what was coming, even if his mind didn't. He looked at me and he said, "Clara, I love you. You know that, right?" And I said, "Of course I know. Of course I know. Not I love you too. Not I love you more than anything in this world. Not you are the reason I wake up every morning and the last thought in my head every night. Of course I know." Like he was stating an obvious fact. Like he was telling me the sky is blue. Of course I know. Dismissive. Taking it for granted. Treating his love like it was guaranteed. Like it required no response. Like a man saying "I love you" to his wife of 58 years deserved nothing more than, "Of course I know." He died at 4 a.m. in his sleep. I woke up because the bed felt different. The weight was wrong. I reached over to his side, and his skin was cold, and I knew, before I checked for breath, before I called anyone, I knew. And the first thought in my head, the very first thought, before the grief came like a tidal wave, the first thought was, I never said it back. Last night, at the table, he said, "I love you," and I said, "Of course I know," and I never said it back. I never said it back. I went to his nightstand while his body was still in the bed before I called anyone. I opened the drawer and I found the journal, and I opened it to the last entry, written that night after dinner, after, of course, I know. It said, "She made my favorite tonight, pot roast. I told her I loved her. She said, 'Of course I know,' not 'I love you too,' just 'Of course I know.' 58 years, and I still don't know if she loves me or if she just knows that I love her. Maybe tomorrow I'll ask her directly. Maybe tomorrow I'll say, 'Clara, do you love me?' And maybe she'll finally say it. Maybe tomorrow." There was no tomorrow. I was his tomorrow, and I didn't show up. If you are watching this, if there is someone in your house right now who loves you, someone who makes your coffee and remembers the small things and puts blankets on your shoulders, go to them right now. Don't say "I love you" too. Don't say it as a response. Go to them when they're not expecting it, when they haven't said it first. Go to them and take their face in your hands and look them in the eyes and say, "I love you," first. Without prompting, let them feel what it's like to receive love without having to ask for it. Let them know they're not guessing anymore. Robert guessed for 58 years. 58 years of maybe she loves me. 58 years of just once I'd like to hear it. 58 years of a journal full of wishes that his wife would say 3 words. I had 21,000 nights to say those words. I said them 0 times. Don't be me. Don't give them your presence and withhold your voice. Don't let them write in journals wishing you would speak. Say it out loud. Say it first. Say it now. Before "of course I know" becomes the last thing you ever give them. Before tomorrow disappears. Before the bed goes cold. Say it.